All right, good morning. So this is what the dough looks like now that it has risen overnight. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, so this looks like it may have gone a little bit longer than I actually want it to typically. So I've got a bowl here. I've got a sheet of wax paper that I'm gonna let it rise again on. And yeah, it smells a little bit, probably shouldn't let it go quite that long, but that's okay. So I'm gonna grab out a little bit of flour just to work with. I'm gonna flour the surface. Ultimately what I'm gonna be doing is forming this into a ball, let it rise for another hour or two, or three maybe, and then we'll bake it. So extracting this from the bowl, kind of tends to be a messy process. Yeah, I let this go too far. That's okay. I think it'll probably still turn out into a halfway decent loaf of bread. So I'm just adding flour, a little bit light dusting of flour so that it sticks less to both me and the bowl. Oh, this is gonna be a super sour loaf. I can smell it, which is exciting. I do like those. So if anybody tries this out and comes up with a better way of getting the dough out of the bowl, I would love to hear back, because this is kind of one of the less fun parts of this process. Let's see. So all right, so get a little bit more flour on the surface of it, and then we'll try to catch it. All right, so now the key is form this into a ball. And I tend to work it a little bit until I figure out the texture, and I add a little more flour to keep it from sticking as I do this. Oh, it's nice and warm. So the original recipe is you form this into a ball, and then you let it rise until it's about twice as big. You let it rise again until it's about twice as big. I don't know if this one's actually going to do that, because since I let it sit so long overnight, it's eaten a lot of the flour. The yeast is eating a ton of the flour. So I don't actually know what this one's going to do. But typically, you know, this is also adding a little bit more flour in, so it can still eat some of that. So it's a little bit sticky, which is okay. The goal of this, form it into a ball, and then you're gonna drop it seam side down on the wax paper, on the floured wax paper surface. And then I cover it with a bandana or a cloth and let it sit for a few hours. Let's see. I actually want to put a little more flour on and in this, because it's a little wet. And sometimes it falls apart a little bit, but that's okay. It's dough, you can just kind of rework it. All right. So then a little bit of flour coating on top so that the cloth doesn't stick to it. And let it sit for an hour or two. Let's see. Yes, so to prep the oven, you're gonna preheat it for 30 minutes at 450 degrees. We'll talk about what you do after that. But next time I see you, I will have preheated the oven. Oh yeah, preheat it with your cast iron pot in it. So that's the other trick, is a cast iron pot.